The trade recap today for this morning on the stocks that we saw value in. Now, answer me this real quick. What is the difficult part in the market for you? For me, I was directionally challenged. Now, this does help immensely with direction, okay? What we do every single morning is we put in our levels that we believe a pattern's going to form around, okay? Get an idea of what's happening, our support resistance, where the stock may put in a pattern for you guys to understand, to get an idea of how to profit in the market. Now, yesterday we got this kind of J-hook looking thing. We went ahead and grabbed 20% on the dollar value we were invested here. Now, if you find it useful, breaking down stocks, choosing the stock for you to be useful, to make sure that the stock is in play, it's going to move. And if you find it useful, just like we did this morning, where we draw in our tops and our bottoms to the support resistance on where we believe the patterns are going to form, to help you guys with your timing to understand when this stock is putting in a pattern and it finally completes a certain pattern, you now know when other traders are going to take the trades. It's just up to you to understand those particular patterns, which we get into. So if you haven't already, hit the notification bell. Well, click the subscribe button, then turn on the notification bell. Every single morning, we're going to give you the levels that we understand to possibly place a trade around. Now, how this works today, let's go down to a little bit of a lower time frame real quick. On SRPT, we saw that when you're looking at particular patterns like a double top, this pattern was complete down here. And if it does not complete, that 50% area is so critical from the top to the very bottom, your 50%, you notice that we get a bounce here. Comes back up, we now start putting in another J hook that we can get behind. Okay, it's another pattern that we understand that now short sellers are stuck in their position and may now have to exit, which gives us two forms of buying pressure. That's what makes this particular pattern very kind of special in this case, in which we were able to take the trade this morning. We grabbed a quick 7% on this trade. What patterns, we can go over a couple different patterns, first of all. But what patterns do you guys like to play? The double bottoms, V-shaped recoveries, double tops. Now, the patterns are irrelevant on why we call them whatever we call them. We could call them the potato salad pattern. It really doesn't matter. Let's get into the psychology behind those patterns, and so you understand why the stock is behaving that way. This does give you a higher probability of success. You need to know when the patterns are complete and when they do the opposite thing. That way you have an understanding of where to be a dip buyer. You have an understanding where there's going to be two sides of buying pressure, two sides of selling pressure. This gives you higher percentage win rates, period, in the market. So doesn't it now, in the same thing, let's actually go to mRNA. That was the trade of the day for us. Okay, we did grab 7% there, so it was a great trade. It was a quick trade. We're in and out. But mRNA was a fun trader. Now, let's go to a 15-minute time frame. Let's go to a 4-hour time frame so you have an idea. Now, the way we would play this, here's a multiple bottom. Okay, now it makes sense that we want to be buyers at a low and sellers at a high. So as we look at the bigger time frame, the bigger overall picture, this stock has done nothing but good since the pandemic, right? This thing just continues to make higher highs. It's a very strong stock, higher highs, and we finally got a nice pullback. Now, what was neat about this particular pullback is it gave it time to rest. The stock comes down, puts multiple lows in. Okay. And how we play this, just like a double bottom, we would play it on the retest of the neckline. Okay, that's the retest and so forth and so on. So we wanted to do the exact same thing. This was a clear line of resistance for the stock. This was a clear line of support for the stock. And as it moves up, that's the retest. That is our entry price. And then it continues up. And we'll go into a lower time frame. But does that make sense that at this price point, we still actually have some room to the upside to previous highs? We still have roughly about an 8% gain that we can still potentially profit on mRNA. Now, the reason why we wouldn't expect the stock to go any further is because this is the last time sellers came in. And that's what we would expect. It's no different from an ABC pattern. An ABC pattern where you have your A move up right here, B, and your C. This is the prior high, it makes sense why there would be sellers there, okay? And this would possibly cause a double top for the stock to come down. We could potentially be looking for the exact same thing on the overall big pattern for this thing to play out in that direction. So what we're doing is going, okay, we are above the EMA. This is a 50 moving average that we use for direction. Now we are getting that retest, just like we like to play. We're sticking to our rules, to the pattern. And now we are expecting this to complete its pattern all the way down. If we were to look at it like this thing should complete that pattern at the highs there, okay? And so that's what we're waiting for on mRNA. And now if we go down to a lower time frame, we did the exact same thing this morning as we did with SPRT, where we put in our support, our resistance, our area of where we think that this stock is going to build a pattern. Here's a nice bull flag, builds a pattern for us before making a move higher. We were able to grab this trade and take the entire trade to the upside. Oh, it wasn't the entire trade. So we got out of our position when it made sense. This is the last time sellers came in. Again, we sell at resistance. I don't know how many times when we are traders that we don't sell when there's a resistance and then it ends up coming back down. There's almost not a worse feeling than when you're in profit, comes down, and then you end up losing all of your profit. So we did take some off here. Blasts right on through. This is where that pattern was complete right here. This overall pattern is complete there, which gave us the entry for number 2. Okay, we got a second entry on this thing, bought the dip right there on that red candle, and then as this thing started curving, we actually took off more at the top here. We did not make it to our entire profit target, but needless to say, if you'd like to be updated on our positions, when we're getting in the trades, the stocks that we're trading, and when we are getting out of the trades, in the first link in the description box below is our private Facebook group. Okay, it's absolutely free to join. We just started it to help other traders as we are profiting in the market. Don't forget, trading, you definitely want to enjoy the process. Keep the end in mind when you're trading. Learn to love the grind and trade to learn at first, and then trade to profit when you have the understanding. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take it easy.